Hi, my name is Hilak Diaz from Open Online Academy, and I'd like to talk to you more about designing emergency shelters. John Kerry once said that climate change is like the biggest weapon of mass destruction. And coming from the Philippines and Tacloban, I can tell you that this is so. Some of the comments is like it looked like Hiroshima right after the bomb. Flattened towns with barely any house standing up. And so what we saw there is the paradigm of having so much money but not knowing what to do. Now, large amount of money, sometimes passing through governments and large agencies. 6 months ago, they started this kind of evaluation and survey and thinking what to do. And up to today, very little has been done, if not nothing at all. What we have seen, which is very significant, is that we had hundreds, if not thousands, of young volunteers wanting to do something today. They wanted to know how they can make life better for people that were just struck by one of the worst storms to ever hit the country, if not around the world. What we're saying is young people need to move beyond service as repacking food, water, chips, drinks. We want to move young people beyond just providing emergency supplies, but starting to help out in rebuilding this kind of shelters so that people can get back on their feet. With the rubble, we have seen people pile it up into temporary walls. We've seen them take pieces of metal sheets and lean it to each other just to have protection from the rain. But this is not all. How can we better design that future? How can we better help people that have taken this kind of skills that are prevalent in the developing countries to take whatever they can and build a home that the government or these agencies are not providing them? They need to start building, whether or not we come to help. And one of the things we want to do with emergency shelter is give them these guidelines. How, with the cycle of climate changes, how can we start building better today with better designs? How can we guide this kind of process? And that's why we need you to come to our help, but more than that, help to areas around the world that have to design homes themselves from whatever they can get. It started out basically with cargoes of tarp coming off planes, coming off boats. And so these were the first things, branded with international logos. And so people had to figure out how to do that with teepees and all kinds of lean-to kind of structures. And then came trying to rebuild with whatever wood or whatever scrap metal they could find. But then there's more to it. There's indigenous materials where people got bamboo. People used all kinds of materials at their disposal. And one interesting one was even cars themselves that have been tipped over. They would live in it for the next couple of months. So what we're saying is there are interesting things out there, but what we need to do is galvanize people around the world to start brainstorming, start having this massive crowd sourcing of ideas to help us come out with this kind of solutions, not only in the Philippines, but something that can affect displaced communities around the world.